Hi, everyone. I would want to welcome all of you to our webinar that is on customer loyalty. Today we have Dhruv with us. Before we start the webinar, of course, like always, all the people who have attended our previous webinars, we always do a quick introduction and chat on our box. So please, can everyone tell me where they are from and what is the restaurant name in the chat box, so we get to know each other, all the people who are over here on our webinar. I am Shivani. I am from Petpooja's marketing team. I head their marketing and PR. And today we already have Dhruv and Thrive's entire team, which I'll be shortly introducing. So please, can you guys introduce yourself in the chat box? What's your restaurant name, your name, and which city you're from? I'm very happy to see so many messages in the inbox. That is great. Uh, we have people from Delhi, Kolkata, Aligarh, Surat, Dehradun, Bangalore. A lot of people from Bangalore and Surat today. We also have someone from London over here. Someone DM'd me. That is lovely. Hi, Ariman. I can see a long message from your end. Hi, I'm Ariman from Shy Tiger. We have restaurants, Bawarchi and Chocolatery. We also have 14 outlets in Delhi and 5 outlets in Ahmedabad currently. Hi, Ariman. Welcome to the webinar. We also have Sandeep, who's from Haryana, and his restaurant name is Food Masters. We are still going to wait for 3 more minutes before we, of course, start the formal introduction round. So keep writing, whosoever is coming new to the webinar right now, please keep introducing yourself. Petpooja and Thrive's team would love to interact with you. Hi, Prashant. You're from Delhi and you work in a Korean restaurant as a corporate manager. Welcome to the webinar. I think I'm interacting with you for the first time. So before we start the webinar, those who are new to the webinar, we do a small protocol that is, do you prefer Hindi or English? What is your language preference, so that the moderators and the speaker can actually communicate to you in the best possible way. So while people are introducing, can you also put in the chat box, would you prefer English or Hindi as the language to be spoken? Of course, English is always an option, but please do that. Dhruv, I'll also unmute you.
Hey, thanks, Shivani. Hey, everyone. I think glad to see people from different industries. I think sub industries and regions. So we'll try and probably cover as much. So we're geography agnostic and English ही रखेंगे. I think that's सबको comfortable है. But what we'll keep it mixed. But that sounds good. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's the easiest way to get and communicate to every Indian possible.
Correct.
I hope they can catch up on some words, of course, because we see a lot of people from South India. So I think the preferred language is, of course, both right now, English taking a little better turn. Of course, those who have still are joining us and new to the team right now, please do introduce yourself in the chat box. I think, Dhruv, we can start the webinar so we can quickly get to our favorite part, that is the Q&A. I think that is my favorite part usually in every webinar. So hi everyone, I am Shivani from Petpooja's team, and today I bring to you a webinar that is on increasing your restaurant's revenue and building loyalty. the idea of this webinar and the idea of this entire thing is there are so many questions we face every day. रोज हमें इतने questions आते हैं that how do we market our restaurant, how do we increase our loyalty, our customer loyalty, footfall, so many things around that. And we thought as a software provider, we might not have the best answer for increasing your footfall. But we bring to you Dhruv over here from Thrive Now. So a little about Dhruv, of course, before he starts his PPT or his introduction and his thoughts about increasing your restaurant's revenue. Dhruv Dewan is the co-founder and CEO of Thrive Now, which helps you set up your own online ordering system within 15 minutes. That's incredible, Dhruv, for you and your team. That is really incredible. Now with Thrive, you can directly accept orders from customers in place of going through third-party aggregators and giving them a lot of commissions, which is honestly, Dhruv, one of the biggest problems right now everyone's facing. So this is something I'm sure the entire audience would love to know about. How do you go about it? A little more about Thrive. Thrive also helps you control your restaurant's marketing, acquire new customers, help them build loyalty, and get into your growth. Now, the person behind this, Dhruv, he started his journey with hashtag loyalty, which is now known as Thrive Now, of course. And Thrive's vision is to build a systematic delivery ecosystem. And Dhruv is helping that vision come into action. So I would want to welcome Dhruv today for giving out his time and interacting with all our audience with a great footfall, all of restaurators to give your ideas, thoughts, and experience on how to build in restaurant loyalty. Thank you, Dhruv, for getting here and doing the webinar with us today. Yeah, I've unmuted you.
Yeah. Thank you, Shivani. I think thank you for the introduction. Super excited to be here. I think I'll try and cover keep the journey short. I think I'll try and cover as many of the learnings that we've had, to be honest, observations, learnings that we've had, and probably the best will sort of come out in the Q&A at the end. But super excited, and thank you for Petpooja for organizing this.
I'm glad. So, Dhruv, before we just start within 2 minutes, to the audience, हमारा webinar का flow कैसा होता है? The flow of a webinar is 15 to 20 minutes will be a presentation round where Dhruv and his team will be sharing the ideas, thoughts, growth, everything that you can do right now as a restaurator to implement and increase your revenue and customer footfall and loyalty. After 15-20 minutes will be an open Q&A round where you can put in your questions during the webinar and also after in the Q&A, where his team and my team will be taking up the questions and answering them personally. We will try to answer as many as possible. So please feel free to write all of them down. And yeah, that is the flow. And I think I'll make you the host, Dhruv, right away. And you can start with the presentation.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, Dhruv, you're the host now.
Can you see my screen? Shivani, can you see my screen?
Yes, Dhruv, we can see your screen.
Okay. So hi everyone. I'm from Thrive. I think Shivani's already done the introduction. Today, I think idea was to understand how customer and brand loyalty can affect restaurant revenue, right? And that's what we wanted to sort of dig deep into. I will probably spend 1 or 2 minutes giving everyone a quick background so they understand who we are, and then I will get into best practices and techniques, right? That we either implement or have observed that have resulted in great scale, right? So मैं start करता हूँ directly. I think पहले थोड़ा हमारे बारे में. So I think quick background. Thrive start क्यों हुआ था? I think we were working with a lot of restaurants. हमने notice किया कि डिलीवरी में हम लॉयल्टी CRM इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं कर पा रहे थे क्योंकि कस्टमर डेटा नहीं आ रहा था बाकी प्लेटफॉर्म से. सिंपल सोल्यूशन था. वी सेड कि वील क्रिएट आवर ओन ordering वहां से start हुआ. And my background is in hashtag loyalty, so we have created a lot of loyalty programs, referral, feedback, काफी सारे features हैं. Idea was to kind of integrate that with ordering, and see हम कैसे influence कर सकते हैं. So that's how it started. We're still very early in our journey. अभी करीब 12,000 restaurants have signed up with us and are working actively, and so on. Right, just some numbers. I think the first metric is what I wanted to share: customer data ownership. I think a lot of restaurants I have observed are not able to run customer loyalty, brand loyalty, because कभी-कभी वो data ही नहीं है, and you don't know how to proceed next, right? So the idea was, we'll do what we can, and I'll also share some hacks later on how customer data can be leveraged, right? Whatever you have, whether it's 100 users or 500 users, but that is something that we wanted to change. And may hope hai, I think in the future other platforms will also follow, and it will become a more transparent ecosystem. But today let's work with what we have, because focus is on revenue. So हमने क्या किया कि अगर आप main fourth line item देखें, the idea was loyalty, brand loyalty, customer loyalty is very linked to how you can market and grow your business. So हम research कर रहे थे in terms of what all can a brand do, right? If they have that data, that if is very important. If they have that data, how do they go about it? तो हमने notice किया करीब 6 ways हैं. ईमेल एसएमएस मार्केटिंग, अभी व्हाट्सएप भी आ गया है, ईमेल एसएमएस व्हाट्सएप मार्केटिंग, Facebook ads, loyalty, referrals, Facebook pixels for your ads, etc., and promo codes. These are some avenues. What we did was, we said ki, outside of this, let's also provide other things, because somebody may have data, may not have data, but they need to work to at least capture that data. उसके लिए transactions होने चाहिए, और transactions होने के लिए the rest of it needs to be in place, right? So I think that's what we've been doing. So Thrive, we do mainly ordering, offline, online, whatever it is, and with partners such as Petpooja, we also get offline data if you're running loyalty, etc. Right? So I think that's a quick background. I won't spend too much time on this. This is a little bit about us, so that there is some context in terms of the recommendations I'm giving. Yeah, I will move forward. So let me talk about the ecosystem. Forget Thrive for a few minutes. I think ecosystem about for a restaurateur, right? Either I have all my customers who come in offline, all my customers who come in online, or given how times have been last few years, most brands operate on a hybrid or model, right? Where they have pickups, if not dine-ins, and they have their deliveries, right? Idea was that how do we plug in some of these marketing journeys related to customer loyalty within that journey in terms of ordering. So offline में हम कैसे करते हैं? For example is, अगर आपका customer आ रहा है, you should enter their mobile number, whether you are working with me or anybody else on your point of sale, right? You have that CLP field where you can enter the mobile number. Once you enter that, it gets tagged to the user. So that's one. If it is online platforms such as us or various other platforms, they give customer data, right? जो direct ordering platforms. So वहाँ से again you get your customer in terms of mobile number, etc. Right? Now once this is in place, right, the idea was you should have some sort of action for these customers in terms of loyalty, in terms of promo codes, in terms of referrals, whatever it is, right? And all this is very important because it depends on the stage that you are as a business, right? And I think that's a call or a decision that every restaurateur today makes depending on where they are, right? But these are more functional things that we believe should be in place. Not all, but slowly and steadily, right? There'll be a stage where you should run campaigns. There'll be a stage you should run loyalty, etc. Right? So it really depends on what stage you're at. But this is more or less in terms of the ecosystem that's provided. So let me get to brand loyalty first, right? I think it's an interesting topic. Brand loyalty for us is in simple ways how you can create recall, right? In terms of a particular customer, right? Say if I'm thinking of having probably a dosa, I think of a particular brand, right? And the idea is to reach that particular mindset with the customer that you're dealing with, right? So I think that's very critical. So I think brand loyalty for us has been about communicating to users in the right way, with the right content, with the right call to actions, right? There's this term internally among the team also we use, is a CTA, which is a call to action, right? And I think that is something that we've noticed sometimes, a lot of marketing campaigns or restaurant implementation, that call to action is not very clear. So I'll give you an example. Today you are running an SMS, right, to me. And if you don't tell me that, okay, call me to place an order, or press on this link to order, or visit me with maybe a Google Map link, right? If I don't have that call to action, sometimes you don't know if the user is actioned or not. And what is very interesting is when you're running these communications, right, you can have a bitly link. There are enough free tools available out there, so you can understand, ठीक है, मैंने 100 जन को भेजा, एक आया, but maybe 20 clicked on it. So you know, for example, if the content you're using or the base you're sending it to, is it accurate or not accurate, right? And then you work on both sides. One is to ensure that more people click on it, and finally they all come and transact with you, right? So those are two sides where improvement can happen, right? I'll give you an example. With Thrive, sometimes we see clicks, right? If a restaurant is marketing up to 20%, but sometimes as low as 0.5% as well, right? So if you notice the difference, and these are simple things. For example, is my menu created well? Are there images? Have I created recommended items? Is my pricing in key with what that customer wants? If you're sending a student a very high menu item, he may not go for it, right? So I think it's various aspects to kind of understand. But I think brand loyalty for us is about ensuring you are present in front of the customer, and with the right targeting and content in very organic ways, right? These are not monetary campaigns that you're running. So some things I think that we've noticed, for you to implement brand loyalty, it is very important as a restaurateur, right? You have your offline infrastructure, which may be your location, and there you do your branding in terms of your signboards, your physical menus, whatever it is. And you have your online branding. Bare minimum, you have your website in place, or at least a Instagram page today, or ensuring that you have your ordering created, right? If you're not an ordering brand, then at least you have a bare minimum in terms of infrastructure created. So I think that's one. Second is, I think, ensuring that wherever you have this real estate, right, that you've created, you have clearly mentioned that what you want from your customer. Do you want them to visit you? Do you want them to call you? Do you want them to order from you? And how they should do that. So those are things I think to kind of put out. The other thing I've noticed is, I think from a packaging perspective, I think that's great real estate that not all brands today leverage. I've given a sample actually of Cafe Coffee Day here. उन्होंने क्या कैंपेन की थी, अगर कहीं भी उनके ऑर्डर्स जाते हैं from any platform, right? The idea is they put a QR code of their own website with a 35% off, and if you scan on it, then you can make a transaction and order is shipped to you. So these are simple examples in terms of packaging, right? Outside of this, I think there are a lot of features that you can implement, such as campaigns, loyalty programs, promo codes, offers that you want to send on SMS, WhatsApp, email, etc. So I think these are activities as a brand you do, and ideas to kind of figure out at what stage you're at as a business, right? So this is more on brand loyalty, right? So let me take a scenario now of a brand जिसके पास customers नहीं है, right? And he's starting new, or you've gone through a time where you have not collected customer data, or you don't know how to probably run or store certain information, right? And you're early in your journey, or have been running very dependent on physical footfalls, etc., जहाँ आपने customer का data नहीं accumulate किया. So what we've noticed is, today there are a lot of third parties such as WhatsApp, Google Pay, Paytm, where you can list yourself as a brand, right? We do that for partners. There are other companies as well. So the idea is, once you get on a lot of these channels, you are able to create more visibility and you get that data. And that becomes the first step. Okay, I am getting data through online, through offline, so I can run my brand loyalty, my customer loyalty, my activities, right? But I've noticed as an observation, a lot of times brands are just stuck on, I don't have enough of a base, or I don't know who my customer is, right? And I don't know how to implement this. So I think these are some suggestions to kind of run. Today, most mature brands run Instagram ads और Facebook ads to acquire users. वहाँ से customer data भी मिल जाता है, and it is also not very expensive today. So you are able to kind of acquire. So those are some other avenues that you can look at in terms of customer acquisition, right? So let me take a step back now. I think while we are talking about these strategies, right? How do you understand as a brand? Is it time for you to acquire? Is it time for you to retain? Is it time for you to look at other channels, etc.? How do you make some of these decisions, right? So हमने हमारी observations के हिसाब से हमने क्या देखा है कि as a brand you need to understand, and today not very difficult, right? आप अगर अपने physical store में बैठे हो, you may be able to estimate that is maximum of your revenue coming through the same customers, or is it coming through new customers each time, right? So I think these are certain calls that you make as a business. अगर आपको लगता है कि नहीं, repeat हमारा बहुत कम है, customer one time आता है and चला जाता है, then retention is very important for you. But if you feel that, okay, I have the same set of customers and I'm not getting any new customers, but my business is literally thriving with those same set of customers, then again, retention is very important. But if you are at a stage where I have a set of customers and unse repeat business aa raha hai, but I'm not able to optimize, right? You need more revenue, your margins are not being met, whatever expenses you have, right, in terms of salaries, rents, etc., food cost, you are not able to kind of cover that, right? So I think at that point it becomes very critical कि आप acquisition पे spend कर रहे हैं, and simultaneously you are giving small thoughts in terms of, okay, जो मेरे current set of customers हैं उनके साथ मैं कैसे communicate करूँ और उनको retain कैसे करूँ, right? One key strategy I have seen that works very well is a loyalty program, but I don't say that a loyalty program means that it has to be a cashback or a offer driven system, right? Loyalty program can be anything. It can be अगर आप मेरे पास 5 बार आए, मैं आपको कुछ दे रही हूँ, और if you've transacted worth 100 rupees, you get something in return, or it can be that if somebody has spent say 10,000 with me, I'm just going to give them something. There is no earning and burning, right? So I think there's a lot of misconceptions around loyalty programs that they need to be cashback or points, etc., right? So I think वो time चला गया है. I think today everything has to be customized depending on who you are as a brand, right? और आप कैसे इसको retain कर सकते हो, right? So I think the best loyalty programs, and I'm sure all of you are also customers, are the ones that are the most simple for a user to understand, right? कि अगर मैं कुछ कर रहा हूँ, मेरे को advantage कैसे होगा. So I think those are things to kind of think about. We have a document related to best practices of loyalty programs. Probably after the webinar, we will ship that out as a link. It has all different types, advantages. It's just a good read for a brand looking to kind of set something up, right? So I think those are some things that I'd like to talk about. I think for us, before I sort of move to Q&A, right? In terms of features, right? I think हमने loyalty की बात कर ली. I think two other features that I'd like to talk about is, one is automated campaigns. ये आप कहीं से भी करिए, but the idea is as a small brand, right? At times it's very difficult to send a message each time, content create किया, उसके लिए graphic बनाया. The idea is अगर आपने कोई journey बना दी कि for example कोई 5 बार आया तो उनको ये WhatsApp जाना चाहिए, या कोई 10 बार आया तो उनको ये WhatsApp जाना चाहिए, right? WhatsApp पे आज सब है. WhatsApp has started opening their APIs for even these sort of things. We see that as a game changer in the coming quarter or so. But campaigns becomes very interesting, especially if you can automate it, right? So I think that's one. Second is um, uh, uh, a lot of you must have noticed as Uber or Ola or even a Swiggy or a Zomato, they really use referral a lot. So if you can create a nice referral program as a brand, right, then it becomes very good. But be conscious. I will only refer if I am sure of this business. That means मैं 3-4 बार आया हूँ, मैंने vet कर लिया है, and I'm going to go out of my way and tell other people, right? So referral का भी एक timing होता है, but that's an additional feature to kind of look at, right? So I think these are various strategies to kind of look at. But if I were to summarize now, as a brand, I think first step आपको देखना है where are you in your journey in terms of retention and acquisition, and basis where you're in your journey, you have to make certain calls, and don't worry about ये program चला कि नहीं, ये communication से लोग आए कि नहीं. The idea is कहीं से start करना है, उसको measure करना है, and then you have to keep iterating, right? For example, अगर मैंने 1000 जन को भेजा, एक जन आया, तो अब वापस ट्राई करिए, 1000 जन को भेजिए, शायद नेक्स्ट टाइम 5 जन आ जाएंगे, उसके बाद 10 जन आ जाएंगे. Then you can move to a bigger database, etc. Right? So I think one key challenge, and I can answer this in the Q&A. It might get a little technical, but a lot of brands try to understand what is the average open rate, what is the conversion rate. इंडस्ट्री में हो क्या रहा है, सिर्फ मैं मेरा बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है कि अच्छा नहीं चल रहा है, राइट? सो आई थिंक these are questions to kind of look at, but probably we can cover some of these things in the Q&A, right? So I think that's broadly how I would, if I were a restaurateur trying to build customer loyalty and brand loyalty. First, I would do like a current state assessment of my brand, or of my business as a whole, into these categories, and then start building from there, right? So I think that's very important. Today there are numerous tools available. Platforms such as Petpooja is doing certain things. There are partners such as us or others in the ecosystem that are doing other things. So you will find a product to help you with all of these things, right? So I think that's where we are. Hopefully, I've been able to cover a good gist in terms of how you can run some of these activities. Probably more in Q&A. I will meet you.
Thank you so much, Dhruv. I think it was a great holistic webinar, understanding the entire gist. To summarize, Dhruv as well, he has very correctly said that, you need to understand what your current situation is, what you're delivering, where you are you marketing enough, and getting your customer data, because customer data is the king. There are numerous things that you can do with it. But the problem is, at times, I think, Dhruv, even we as a company sometimes forget the importance of that data and how much you can use it, how much again and again you can use it, and then start reading the data and its actions. I think that is where you and your company come into picture and help everyone out, understanding all the things, the flow of getting out there. And I remember the perfect example that you said, that you cannot give a large ticket size to a student. It's very simple and it's so logical. I mean, that you and I or any restaurant owner would also know, to be honest. But usually, while getting into the marketing activities, we don't realize that the basic logic that we usually have, but we forget to implement it, which is so true that you have to just know your audience and then accordingly go for that. Now, I think is our favorite part. A lot of people have been writing a lot of messages and questions. Of course, everyone, if you have any questions for Dhruv and his team or our team, Pete Pooja's team, please put it down in the group. So on the text, so that we can take it up. Dhruv, I'll just start asking a couple of questions that people have been asking. So Pankaj Gupta had a question that how do I market Thrive to my customers using SMS doesn't work for him personally. So how can Thrive's product suite help him?
Yeah, I think Pankaj, you're spot on. SMS is dying. There is I think we are also customers. हमें भी I think बहुत सारे SMS आते हैं. And today phones are smart enough to kind of filter what is promotional, what is transactional, etc. So it's a challenge. I think with Thrive हम दो चीजें कर रहे हैं. One is we very recently applied for a BSP with WhatsApp, which is a business service provider. Idea was to kind of integrate that. तो आप अपने customers को WhatsApp भेज सकते हैं. That is one. Second is I think from a communication point of view, right? Idea is जब वो customer आपके पास आ रहा है, in terms of upsell, in terms of repeat rate, in terms of loyalty, that moment you can still share communication over SMS and email, because that's the only time he's going to be looking at it.
There is this Gagan someone, उसका number ले लेना private में.
Yeah, no worries. So I think that's the other bit in terms of ensuring that how some of this communication with your users can happen real time, because the probability of that customer looking at your loyalty message, your feedback message, your referral message at the time of the transaction or when he has just left is higher. But from a campaign perspective, I think WhatsApp is the way to go. Second one, very interesting thing, right? थोड़ा complex sound करता है, but it's very simple. Facebook and Instagram today have this feature called custom audience. मतलब अगर आपने मोबाइल नंबर कस्टमर का डाला तो उसी कस्टमर को Instagram पे ऐड चला जाएगा. So that is one other avenue of communicating with the customers that you're looking at. Second very interesting thing that Instagram does today is look-alike audience. उसका मतलब है if you put Dhruv's number, then it, depending on the budget that you add, 5 or 7 other Dhruvs can be contacted with the ad that you've created, right? So we see the future being Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp. We are still evaluating Truecaller, YouTube, and other channels, but we feel that this is good enough to kind of get started. Yeah.
I actually agree with you, Dhruv, and that was a great question, Pankaj, because SMS clearly, even we've been trying a lot, but I feel the retention is not, the reach is also not there now anymore, because everything goes in promotional. Everyone's messages now get divided. But I think WhatsApp as a tool has been working great with the green tech business model. That is genuinely doing wonders, especially because you don't want to spend spams. You genuinely want to reach out to your customers, and you know how to use your data now finally. And I think being active on social media and being consistent over there for restaurateurs, it has actually been a key, because over there you can post a lot of offers, you can post all your food images. There are so many things that restaurateurs actually have an upper hand with on social medias, because the food is so delicious, it's tempting, so you can always put out all those things. So with WhatsApp, there is one more person who had a question around that so I think Sailesh had it, that can you link us or can you help us with the best loyalty practices that can be put on WhatsApp groups?
What do you mean, Shivani? WhatsApp groups?
For example, a lot of these clients, even our restaurant clients, have a WhatsApp group for their customers, or if they have, for their essentially their users. So, what kind of practices, if you can help them out with some ideas?
Yeah. No, I think best thing for a first time user, right? अगर आप post कर रहे हो, and you're using your own online ordering channel, right? Whether it's with Thrive or somebody else. Idea is you have a budget which is higher than what you're doing with Zomato, Swiggy, right? Because of come commission there. So the idea is how can you create a promo code of that percentage? Maybe it's 15%, 20%. And you can probably on your WhatsApp group put a URL saying that, hey, order here, promo code ye dalna. For example, I would put probably a promo code called Thrive or the brand name, right? So that's also, they have to type it down, something interesting. So the idea is that's a good hook for a user, and then you start your loyalty, right? वो पहला transaction करेगा, फिर उसको WhatsApp आ जाएगा कि they have earned this much cashback or whatever program you have created, right? But as a hook, I think you cannot sell a loyalty program. As a hook, idea of building this product, even for us, right, was कि margins ज़्यादा है, so you rather give an offer to that customer and get him to make that first transaction.
Okay, fair. I mean, that's great to be honest. So while you were discussing about Zomato, Swiggy, a couple of people actually were very active and asking about how do we get or how do we know that it's a repeat customer from Zomato or Swiggy, and also how do we make the most out of it, because there are no as such CRM platforms that are attached to Zomato and Swiggy at the moment, which directly help you fetch the data and send them a lot of things around the same thing. So
Yeah,
do you have any ideas?
yeah, no, it's a major challenge. There's no doubt. But the idea is to kind of there's no hack here, right? You have to kind of work a little hard. So I think first things are uh, uh, some things are reactive, right? Reactive would be, जैसे cafe coffee day करता है, they put up a QR code on all their third party orders जो जाते हैं, and they're creating that cycle, right? So simple as that, maybe with a promo code, etc. तो आप at least you're telling the user कि आपने एक बार order कर लिया ये platform से, next time से हमारे पास आइए, we are going to give you a discount, right? So I think, but you can do only so many things while you are reacting. The idea is to get to the core of it and understand, okay, today as a brand, maybe 0% come to me direct and 100% come to me through these aggregators. Uh, Maybe what do I need to do so that 5% come to me? Maybe you need to run some ads, maybe you need to put it on your website, your Instagram link. And the idea is slowly and slowly, you need to ensure that, okay, you have a sizable portion of your revenue coming directly to you. So your margins look significantly better, right? I have seen over the last 2 years, certain brands have reached 25, 30, 33%, right? And you think about it, for those set of orders, they're earning 20% more, right? So I think marketing is also a lot about discipline. And if you're looking to sort of build a brand, not for short time, right? Build a brand which is here to stay. At some point or the other, you have to have your own infrastructure, market it really well. So I think those are some things. But outside of packaging, अभी आप रूट कॉज देखो, बिकॉज एक तरफ आप ये सोच रहे हो, दूसरी तरफ जाके अगर आप वहाँ बैनर एड डालने वाले हो on Zomato, Swiggy, then it's a continuous cycle, right? Which is fine. There are a lot of brands today which operate on only on aggregators. Then this conversation in terms of CRM and brand loyalty is not applicable. It's a different kind of business, and you are able to kind of maybe survive, maybe scale, depending on your products, etc. Right? So I think you also have to understand what your own DNA and your aspirations are, and basis that take some of these steps.
No, fair, Dhruv. I think marketing genuinely is all about patience and consistency and innovating, because it's all about trial and error. I'm sure you as Thrive's team and us as Petpooja, I think we've been working since such a long time. And I think there was one question being asked that, if hashtag loyalty or Thrive is with Petpooja, yes, we are integrated with them. Like Dhruv also mentioned, we work. So if you are a Petpooja user, you can directly go to your billing.petpooja, your dashboard, admin dashboard. And in the marketplace services, you can find Thrive or hashtag loyalty over there, where you can communicate and connect with Dhruv's team. Dhruv, if your team can also send down any form or any email ID or something like that, that would be great, because I'm sure a lot of people not just have a lot of questions but also want to know the product deeper, since this is genuinely the need of the hour right now. Festive seasons are coming, so many things are coming, people want to increase their sales, their revenue models, and you can't be stuck with trial and error at this point all the time. If there is a framework, might as well be
Yeah,
smart
yeah.
and just
Yeah, no,
right.
definitely. I think Alia, Deepak, I see a couple of folks here. I think they'll just add an email address now,
So
that we can be written to, and I'll ensure we reply to each one of them, right, one by one.
that would be great. So, Dhruv, we also have a lot of great questions that are there right now. So I'll start pouring them on. If I have the answer, of course, I'll try to say something, but I think they are for you. About the Thrive about product, actually, some people have it. What does Thrive offer in referral framework and loyalty programs with customizable rewards?
Yeah, so I think
By any chance, Dhruv, can you also share a dashboard or your website or something on the screen? I'll make you the host. So you can actually show them a little, because a couple of other questions are, can I embed Thrive's ordering page on my website or anything? So I think that would be great. I'll just make you the
I
host.
think Yeah, I think what we can do is probably the team can put up a YouTube video, or a link, which everyone can see in terms of how it gets linked to their ordering, right? I think that will make it faster. So I think I see Sumesh, Deepak here. Probably they'll quickly add a few of our help desk links. But let me answer that question. I think loyalty, right? I think. In our free plan, what we put is a simple cashback. अगर आपने see you said it at 5%, right? So for example, if I place a 100 rupee order, I will get a WhatsApp message which will say that, hey, you spent 100 rupees, rupees 5 as cashback has been added. So the next time you're making a transaction with Thrive, there will be something called apply cashback at your checkout page. You click on apply cashback and utne rupees kam ho jate. So very simple. The idea was in terms of ordering online, we wanted to really keep it simple in terms of the program. Although there are certain engagements where we are running very complicated programs in terms of tiers, in terms of uh, 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 getting a certain discount when they reach a certain number of points. So all those levels of customizations is already done. This was our previous product, which is #loyalty. It is 100% integrated into Thrive. So you can run complex programs. My recommendation, although, is always start simple, keep a simple cashback, see how many people use it, see you have enough of a base, market it, and then you can always evolve, right? You are not committed to the customer key. This is a program that you're going to run for eternity, right? So you start with the simplest program and then you create complex structures. And there should be some reasoning around it, right? So I think that's one. Referral for us is very simple. If I were to, you tell me, for example, I'm a customer, hey, why don't you refer Shivani? And if I refer Shivani, then she gets a discount to place an order. And if she successfully completes an order, then I get certain cashback added to my account. So very simple. Every customer gets a referral message that he or she can forward on WhatsApp to their remaining customers. So the idea was whatever instrument you're using in terms of points, cashback, whatever it is, that's something that can be leveraged, right? But idea was to keep it very simple. The
Right.
catch, right? I feel a lot of people make a mistake. The catch, instead of getting these programs right, is not the challenge. The catch is getting the distribution, the communication right. So I think there should always be more focus on that. And the programs can always evolve. Customer will accept you whether you're giving 4% or 5%, depending on whether he actually wants to refer you or not. It's like a hook, right? That you're showing to that customer. So
Right. No, absolutely. I mean, I agree with you because I know there are so many times a lot of restaurants send us messages that, you visited us. These are the points that you have collected. If you come next time, you get something free. Next time you come, you get this percent off. The messaging is on point at times and it's distributed at the right time. That, because the recall is so high, I've already eaten over there. Now I know if I'm getting something, I will also get someone else because I know I'm not going to eat that alone if I'm getting a free item and I'm already going to eat there. So things like these, they actually are a great catch. So someone also had more questions about Thrive. One was around the pricing. If you can quickly tell us, like, because you said there's a free model and there is also another models, I'm sure. And if so, a user, she or he just messaged us right now that they already use another platform, but the accuracy of data that they are getting from there is highly inaccurate, that they are not getting a lot of accuracy from their data. So does Thrive also help us collect the accurate data from all the other platforms and everything? Can you please help us
yeah, yeah.
understand a little?
So uh, for Thrive, it's pretty black and white, right? If you've made a transaction on dine-in, pickup, delivery, the mobile number comes to you. If a user is registered with their email address first time with us, we keep it as an optional field. Email also comes to you, and you get all the transactional information, right? So accuracy is not a question here because we are not fetching data from any other platform, right? It's data coming from our transaction. So very simple. Pricing. For our ordering ecosystem, right, we charge a 3% commission. What we've done is we've created 3 slabs starting at 299 going to 999. in terms of the CRM, right? For it to be activated, there are certain things we give for free, and there are certain things that keep getting added on depending on the 3 plans, right? So there are 3 plans, but that's the range that we're looking at. We usually tell brands start with the free plan. It has basics that you need, and as and when you are ready to market, right? Sign up for a short duration, maybe a month, try it out. If you're satisfied, convert it to annual because it's cheaper for you as well, and we also get a longer commitment.
Right.
Um, but that's on the pricing front. Yeah.
I would love if your team can also send us some link or something to the same thing so our audience can see the free pricing model also and the other models
Yeah.
if they have started, if there's some interest because if it's for free, why not try it? I
Yeah.
mean, why not? So definitely, please, I would love for Alia or Deepak or anyone to share it. So I think someone had a question for Petpooja, actually, Prashant Kakran, if I'm pronouncing that right. So they actually had a question that we are running your restaurant on Petpooja and everything is going fine and the business is doing great. But the problem is we are not able to collect customer data due to high order rush. I think, Prashant, it's not just you. I would say 80% of our users have faced this problem. And we actually have talked to them personally also on how we can make it better. So I don't know how many of you know what Petpooja is, and I have a feeling a lot of you are users because I'm reading the names and I recollect few of them. So Petpooja is a restaurant management platform where once your customer comes in, their end-to-end management of restaurant to customers to menu to tables, inventory, kitchen, payment, any kind of restaurant management that you need is solved by our software, of course. To know more, of course, you can always reach out to us. My team will also put down the things. Now, the idea is most of the people, they use some sort of software. Again, like the first thing that Dhruv and I also said, data is king. If you don't have it, you really can't start anything. So now how do you do it? As soon as you have a QSR या आपका बहुत high rush restaurant रहता है जहाँ पर quick service होती है and half an hour में is your table round time. Then in half an hour people come, eat and go. That is how quick it is. Make it a habit of your servers, make it a habit of your captain, make it a habit of anyone who is managing those people to take bare minimum thing of taking their number. Because even if you don't have the name, even if you don't have their email ID, if you have their number, you can use it either if SMS is working or for WhatsApp. Because if you have the number, you can directly put their details over there and start shooting them out. Of course, it's better if you also have their number and their name, so you can customize their messages that hi Dhruv, you visited our outlet. I hope you liked our food. For next time, we want to, if you visit the restaurant next week, we would like to give you a free item. What happens is quickly now Dhruv as a customer will love it. Hey, they remember my name. They know I came right now and they're calling me again and offering me a free goodie. I mean, I would love to take my friends over there because I'll be like, hey, I'm getting a free item. Why don't you join with me? I can just order one thing and I'll get one thing for free. Things like that. So I know, as difficult as it sounds, it's all about consistency and training your staff or your team members to quickly take down a number. That just take down a number when you're assigning them a table, because you have to assign a table to make them seated so that your kitchen starts running. So I hope, Prashant, that helps. If you think there are any other tips that can help and that you have used and other people can help, definitely do let us know. We would love to discuss that too. Yeah, Dhruv, please. I think.
No, no, I think Shivani's on point. I think the only other way that I've seen a few brands do it very well is 100% of your customers won't do this, but you can always have an option for a customer to make a transaction via QR code available somewhere or the other. We for example, we do provide that feature, and we've noticed not everyone transact; they just view the menu and they still like that physical ordering, right? But even if a small percentage of your customers are okay making that transaction, maybe the younger lot that are anyway paying through UPI or things like that, right? Not cash customers. Some people might be interested, but it's an easy option to add. But you have a good problem. You have volume. I think the idea is for you to kind of start changing process, so you can implement these things. Yeah.
And I feel this is the core. If you have to start, I would not wait for it. I would start it today. Because once your team is used to it, they know the new people joining in also have to get used to it. They can't bring in their own ways of not taking the data. Because you as a manager or a owner or any key member are not always present in the restaurant. You might not be there, but your core team is there, your servers are there. So, getting them into practice is quite important. And I agree with you, like the QR menus and everything have also become a very easy way to get customer data, even though you physically place an order, but still you view it. You view the menu by placing your number and your QR or your OTP number. So I agree with that. I think we'll be taking last 5 questions, everyone. I love the Q&A. This has been one of the best Q&As, to be honest, in our 8 series webinar till now, where a lot of genuine questions are coming out of the entire chat. Okay, so I think there is one message by. I'll just take the message right now. I think someone else was also asking if it's available on Petpooja. Yes, hashtag loyalty and thrive are available on Petpooja. You can again go on the billing screen and on your billing admin dashboard on the marketplace. You can do it. If you think we are not aware, if you can't find it, you can just message on support or any email. They'll just quickly send it to you. I'll also put down my personal email ID. So if you have any queries, you can reach out to me as well. Shana, can you please put it down? Thank you. Okay, so someone had a question for Thrive, Dhruv. So for Thrive, they have, I'm sorry, there are so many questions, they keep getting lost. I think you have already answered them. There was someone with an example that minimum order for free delivery. On Thrive, there are many, there are ways to set minimum order. So can you just give us an idea, like how do you charge and everything? Because I think a lot of people have been asking around that.
Yeah, yeah. No, so I think I was going through some of the questions. Product wise, I think minimum order, pre-order, all these things are pretty much implemented from day zero for us. So I think once you explore the tool, you can charge. There's no sign up fee. The idea is you can go to the Petpooja dashboard and just click on request, or you can go to the Thrive Now website and sign up. When you're signing up, do add Petpooja as your point of sale. So we ensure we get the POS keys from Petpooja, get it integrated, menus get synced, etc. Right? From a cost perspective, we charge 3%, which is our fee. There's a GST fee on top of that. Usually for over and above that, there are two other fees. One is payment gateway, which is on actuals, and second is delivery fee, which we give the brand an option. Either you bear the cost, split it with the customer, or push the whole thing to the end consumer. So I think those are the only components in terms of delivery. I saw Roshan, I think, had a question that delivery costs on Thrive are too high. Roshan, you're right. Delivery costs are on the higher side. I think in Mumbai, I've managed to bring them down. I think matter of about 3 or 4 months, we are constantly working because our volume has really increased. And we are now getting significantly better rates, and we're able to bring down costs. We're also got a key investor on board who has a large fleet of riders. That's Jubilant. They have Domino's riders.
Yeah.
Roshan, this is my problem every day, and I am trying to solve it with the best of my ability. So you'll only see the delivery costs going down and down. And hopefully it reaches a point where in your PIN code or in your for your customers, it is ideally, if not more than the other platforms, ideally lesser. But we are working on it, and we are already seeing results in certain markets. So you can write to us. We can try and figure out in your area how we can even figure this out faster.
That's great, Dhruv. I think as compared to the other aggregators right now, especially when the ONDC conversations or anything are going, we all know all the main aggregators. Usually they do claim to charge around 20%, 18 to 20%, but ideally the percent does go till 25 to 28, which is extremely high. A lot of our clients have been I think switching on to third party aggregators and places like Thrive, places like OW for Petpooja or anything like that. And we are seeing a massive shift right now because of the of the loyalty of the customers that have been built and the specialized discounts that you can give on these platforms altogether. So that is why, guys, please collect data, please make your loyal chain so that you guys can shift these customers onto your other platforms.
I, I
And
think I think I think just to add what Shivani said, right? Nobody's going to switch off aggregators and shift on day one, right? But I think the idea is to start somewhere and to keep measuring how much volume you're doing directly and keep working on it, right? I mean, that's the only solution. You grow your margins, and trust me, businesses reach a point where they are not reliant on anybody else but themselves, right? So idea is to kind of get there, but it happens. I mean, we have seen a lot of use cases. So don't
yeah.
lose heart. I know it's a difficult journey, but it happens.
It definitely does. And I think someone had a question, does Petpooja charge for it? No, we don't charge for any of our integrations. These are integrations that are directly done with partners. So all you have to go is go to the dashboard, click on interested or, integrate with Thrive, for example, or hashtag loyalty. And then you can directly, the teams meet, they put you in the integration now, and quickly the integration is sorted. It's actually quite easy. So you can go explore on billing.petpooja.com's entire dashboard, and that is where you can find it. A very interesting question, Dhruv, people have been asking, are hashtag loyalty and Thrive the same company?
Yes,
Are
they
they the
are.
same
I
thing?
think yes, they are. I think we our legal entity still called hashtag loyalty private limited. I think we made this change during the start of COVID. Idea was we felt commerce is a bigger problem today uh, 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 compared to loyalty, and we decided that we will do both together. And so it is very much one team, one product, one legal entity. But
Okay.
we're called Thrive Now. Hashtag loyalty has now been rebranded as the Thrive Marketing Suite, but it's pretty much the same set of people and team.
That's great, Dhruv. So, Dhruv, we'll be taking last three questions now because I'm sorry, everyone. I know a lot of questions are coming in. That is why we have put in the email IDs. Both of us and the entire teams are very active on emails and to answer everything, or we can always get on a call. So, the third last question for you is someone has been asking. So, Shivam Arora has a very great question that he has customer contact number and the entire data. How can I use that data on WhatsApp using Thrive?
Yeah, I think Shivam, very simple. I think once you do sign up with us, we assign a WhatsApp business account for you. We purchased a lot of numbers which we give to our partner businesses. Once you have that, you can start sending campaigns to those customers. Our WhatsApp campaign function for transactional is already live since I think 9 months now. Promotional communication, like what you're talking about, we are hoping goes live sometime end of this month or early September, because we have just procured the license directly from a WhatsApp. So I think that's taken us some time and cost, right, to kind of get that going. So um, uh, Shivam, you can start with transactional communication today. For example, your orders, your loyalty points, etc. But anything that you want to push will take a few more weeks. And once live, you can send it via the dashboard.
Great. I think Shivam, you can definitely exchange your contact number with the team. The team is already there, so you can put it down over there, or you can DM it to me as well. I'll just send it to them. But anything that you need to get in touch with, they can definitely do, and your team can also do put down the number. So this, I think we'll be taking the last two questions. So there are very interesting questions, Dhruv. The last two ones. It's completely up to you if you want to answer them or not. So because there have been questions about Bing Age and Relo, and what is the differentiation point, or can Thrive work with these third-party loyalty programs? So if you have any answer to that, please, I would love to, or the team can just answer something about that.
Yeah, no, I can take that. That's fine. I think uh, uh, I wouldn't comment directly on any other product apart from us. I think for us, the journey that we are on is slightly different. I think the idea is, I'm going to get a little philosophical here, but for us, in terms of ordering, today in our ecosystem basis, our research, nobody's making money. Nobody's making money, nor the restaurant, nor the aggregator. customers getting an initial discount. So what we're trying to do with Thrive is be more transparent and unbundle the entire ordering landscape, right? So I think that's the mission, to make food delivery more equitable, right, for all partners involved. So I think that's what we are working towards. For us, partners such as Loyalty, Reload, Engage, or anybody else, right? These are services that we offer, services that may be present with others. It's easier for us if you use our entire tool. We today are not integrated with other loyalty into our Thrive ecosystem. We may do it in the future, may not. I think as an engineer, at the end of the day, there is only that much product time that we have. So the idea is we are focusing on the biggest problems, which is in terms of getting partners for discovery, getting riders for logistics, getting integration, improving POS integrations with, say, partners such as Petpooja, right? So I think there are certain other priority items at the moment, but we'd be happy to look at some of these things in the future, but not at the moment.
Okay, lovely. Thanks for the answer. Quite a nice answer. I didn't expect that though, because when it comes to competition, a lot of things get ugly around that. And, there are a lot of USPs. There's always differentiation, but it's also how much do all of us encourage each other to bring out better products? Because I think with time, I've also seen hashtag loyalty change and upgrade their products again and again and again with the given situation, being SMS to emails to coming as an ordering platform altogether, and now integrating WhatsApp and the current scenarios, which is, I think, what truly as a product we as Petpooja's team also believe in, that you have to cater to the current scenario. You have to continuously innovate to the people. Very, very important, I think. So I think okay, there's one last question. Okay, so there is one from Prashant. I think he's sending this for the second time. I missed that out. Is there any scan code service to collect dining customer data? I mean, not only orders, not for order only, for customer information or taking feedback of their dining experience. So I think what he means is there an end-to-end kind of a scan code, order and feedback and everything like that? I think Dhruv can also answer that. Absolutely, Dhruv, because we all have that service, but I would love for you to answer that.
Yeah, no, I think Petpooja has a great tool around that. We used to have that tool. Currently, it's been sort of paused. Currently, so we use everything around the Thrive ordering, whether it's dine-in, pickup, delivery. As soon as an order is made, the number comes in, feedback comes in. I think idea for us was everything has to be linked around that commerce transaction. But I think there are partners such as Petpooja and several others that do have such solutions. We don't have information taking for dining experience, right? We don't have that, or we are not selling that solution right now.
So Prashant, I'll actually take that question for you. With Petpooja, we have something called scan and order and scan and feedback messaging, where the end-to-end entire thing can be recorded, because once you scan an order, you have to put in your number and you get an OTP. So essentially, you already get the number. Even if they place an order or not, you will know that this person has visited your outlet. And in the last, you also have a feedback form, which can be, which is again something where you have to put your information, just your name and number, and there can be as many feedbacks that you want for your food, your ambience, your entire experience, anything like that, and you can submit it. This feedback can also be sent with your e-bill. That means once with Petpooja's system, you have punched the bill and the bill has been saved, you get an e-bill or a WhatsApp bill where you can also put in a link for the feedback. So everything around that can be actually done where your dependency of a person or a server goes away, and now you're putting the dependency on the person, that if they want to eat, they have to place this thing from here. So if you would want to know more about it, of course you can directly reach out to me or my teammates. I'm just putting out my personal email ID for anyone to reach out for any other questions. I would definitely love to answer them over there. And for Thrive, I think the Thrive's team has entirely shared everything. So quickly before we actually pause, and I would love to thank you, Dhruv, I wanted to introduce you all to just another feature that we have gotten for restaurant specific. When today we were talking about building a loyalty and increasing revenue and having greater footfall, the key to everything was marketing. that if you don't market, you will not essentially get to a lot of places. When Dhruv was also talking about, having a lot of tools, we need certain things to send through those tools, be it on your social media, be it on your WhatsApp groups, anywhere like that. So recently we have come up with a product called Tweeto. My team will be sharing the link to that. Essentially, I'll be sharing my screen. Through, can you please make me the host for 2 minutes so I can also share that. I can just share my screen.
Just a second. Done.
Great. Thank you so much, Dhruv. So everyone, just last couple of 2-3 minutes, I think. So I hope you can see my screen. So we have recently launched with a product called Tweeto. Tweeto essentially is a restaurant marketing app where you can design templates. So when you are using loyalty programs like hashtag loyalty, or using places like Thrive or any other platform, you can use ready to use templates for your restaurant on this. Currently the app is free of cost. So I would love it if you have if you do restaurant marketing and you also find it quite difficult to continuously create a lot of content. This is the place for you to create content, and you can send anything, any kind of cuisine type that you have, any kind of offering, memes, anything you want to do. आपको जो करना है, जैसे आपको चीजें बनानी है, वो ऑलरेडी बनी हुई है. हमारे यहाँ हम लोग बहुत फेमसली एक चीज बोलते हैं, the time of making a biryani should not be equal to the time of creating the same post. That you shouldn't take 2 hours to make a biryani, and you shouldn't take 2 hours to make the same post for that biryani to market it. You should rather, the post should be done within 5 minutes so that you can market that 2 hour biryani to everyone. So yes, platforms like all of these help you create very easy user friendly templates which are shareable, and these can be sent across any kind of marketing thing. So if you are a restaurant who does marketing, I would love it if you can share, if you can check out the app, and also write to us if you love the product, because it's free of cost. Definitely make the most out of it. And of course, on our WhatsApp groups, also we'll be sharing the entire thing, that is whatever Dhruv's team has been sending us, the videos, the manuals, everything. So you also know what Thrive does, free of cost products and everything. Make the most out of it. We'll be sharing Tweeto. And the last thing would be, there is a feedback form for the webinar, of course. Every week we'll be having a webinar with a guest speaker around the industry. So if you are interested, please sign up onto our WhatsApp group. Our WhatsApp group has more than 700,000 people, where we continuously share a lot of free marketing and free webinars that are happening across India in the restaurant industry. I think, thank you so much. I think I can see people have already started giving in feedbacks for Twitter who have used it. Agar aapne nahi kara hai, to please definitely do that. A round of thanks to Dhruv, you and the entire team. The webinar genuinely has been a great reintroduction to Petpooja's webinar series. I couldn't have asked for a better debut for, again, 2022. Thank you so much to the entire team for being so cooperative, being so informative, and essentially helping all our users, because I can still see there are 70 people who are still actively listing us after 1.5 hours. So that is a sign of a great webinar. Thank you so much, Dhruv, for sharing such great insights for the entire thing.
Yeah, no, thank you, Shivani. I think thank you, everyone. I've also shared my email address in case the team's not been able to answer something. There is already an ID that was shared, but that's my ID as well. Feel free to write, and I'll try and assist in the best way I can.
That is lovely, Roop. Thank you so much. What we'll do is we will also send all these details on our WhatsApp group. So everyone from the WhatsApp group can also reach out to Thrive's team, whatever they wish to understand and know, and we can take it forward. With this, everyone, I hope you've gotten the feedback form. I would genuinely wait for 2 minutes and ask everyone to please fill the 3-question feedback form, which will help us understand आप next क्या जानना चाहते हो, क्योंकि हमारे पास 4 webinar series है. And usme se next, whatever is your priority, we would get people and we will arrange that next week. Next week's webinars detail will be given on the WhatsApp group. If you're not a part of the WhatsApp group, please write to me directly or you actually, Shana, can we send the WhatsApp link of one of the groups? We are sharing the WhatsApp link over here. You can directly get joined over there. Oh, we're really sorry if that is the problem. Shana, the feedback form needs permission. Yeah. Here is the feedback form, everyone. Again, if you have missed it out, it's just a simple Google form. You can just go fill it. And with that, and the vote of thanks to the entire participants, I am very happy to host this webinar for everyone. And thank you so much, Dhruv, for being such a great audience and such a great speaker, and everyone for being such a great audience. It has been a great 1 hour webinar, quite insightful. अगर किसी को कोई भी questions हो, please feel free to reach out. Usually Dhruv is a very busy person, but for all of you and for the entire webinar audience, he's also shared his personal email ID, which is a great chance for you all to interact with him and his team directly. His team is quite nice, and you can always reach out to them. You can also always reach out to Petpooja's team if you can't reach out to them ever. And I think the form is only in viewer thing. I'll send the WhatsApp link. I think my team has not been able to do that. I am sharing a WhatsApp link with everyone. You shared it? Have you changed the form to view? Yes. Okay, so now I think you can join the WhatsApp link. You can also fill the form now. I think the form is again available. I apologize for the inconvenience. And with that, thank you so much, Dhruv. I think it's an end to our webinar. Hoping to have a next series very soon whenever there's a launch of new products from both our ends. And this will be a great place for everyone to try it on.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Shivani, for having me, and thank you for everyone for attending. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Dhruv. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone else as well.